The match officials for our last game today, ladies and gentlemen. The referee is Nathan Barker-Prinkle. Test judges Norman Cote and Maxine Godinay.
Kia ora and welcome to our fifth and final game of what's been a very long day at the Rugby League, but it's been a really enjoyable day too. Cordale Husband Tēnei, thanks very much for sticking with us at our live stream coverage and acknowledging my colleagues as well, Rusty Matua, Lewin Husband, and also on the sideline with us today, Corey Rosser. It's been quite a wonderful day and there's been some fabulous results as well. Well, we wrap it up today with the Sharman Cup Plate final, and this features the East Coast based Barracudas up against the Waitemata Seagulls, and looking forward to this clash as well. And let's have a look at who will line up in both of the squads here this evening. A beautiful evening, in fact, here in Auckland. There we have the Waitemata Seagulls and 6 and 7, Frost, Paco. They'll be expected to steer the ship today. Matty Luisi is the skipper today, in jersey number 8. Rob Luisi will coach the West Auckland-based squad. And the East Coast-based Barracudas over the north side, their skipper today, Stephen Robinson, in jersey number 6. Of course, coached by Ross Hilton today. And there is their lineup. And looking forward to seeing how they go too. Here as we get ourselves underway, and Corey Rosser is sideline. You've done a wonderful job today, Corey. It's been a long day, and I guess it'll be getting a little bit nippy for you. How are you feeling as we look towards the start of this final?
Yeah, that's right, Dale. Very much excited for this one. These two teams over the last few years have been top Sharman Cup teams, of course, playing in the second tier part of the competition this year, but I think it's going to be a high-quality game. Thankfully, the rain's gone away and looks like staying away, and the wind's died down a little bit too. So pretty good conditions, and as you mentioned, a lovely night.
Well, Saturday night in, and wherever you're watching, across NZ, across overseas, through the worldwide net, a warm welcome to Trust Stadium in Auckland's West, and we are underway with the big number 13, Abaru Motida, early on with the carry. He's about 6 metres short of the halfway, and a bullet pass intercepted early on as the East Coast Bay's Dustin Hakawaya gets hold of the ball. The Barracudas, as they're known, up against the Seagulls. That's the Barracudas just 10 metres or so in from the western touchline that we're broadcasting from here at the arena. Josh Hale with his first touch of the ball, and he's wrapped up in the tackle of the skipper Luisi, 15 metres out from the try line, and distributed by Jack Allen, who's put the ball down. The Seagulls come up with it. Of course, the Premier First final, Hibiscus Coast Raiders, the victors a little while back, and the Waitemata Seagulls supporters haven't had far to come from Waranui, their home base, here to Henderson, just the next suburb on. So plenty of support for them here this evening, as there should be too. 32 metres out from their own line, though. The Seagulls will play the ball through Sevele Fainu as one of the big forwards pushes forward. They'll opt to stay the short side with a little dummy from Dominic Folomu. And he's pulled down just 5 or 6 metres inside the Barracudas half. The lights are on. Looking pretty good here as it's shuffled to the right-hand side. Off the boot of Trevor Strickland. It's a big kick, and Corey Craig takes it at the back, right in front of his posts. And then just sort of squirts around to the left-hand side before he's tackled about 10 metres out from his own line. Lewin's back in for this one as well. Lewin, some good support here for the West Aucklanders, understandably. Their home base just maybe 3 or 4K away in Ranui.
What do you do, mate?
But the Barracudas, well, they've had some mixed fortunes. At one stage, one of the top teams in the Fox Memorial Championship, but going through a bit of a rebuilding phase, I guess, at the moment. And this will be an interesting game, number 5 in our series of finals and semi-finals throughout the course of the day.
Yes, certainly, Dale. It's nice to be able to sort of profile these clubs that you sometimes don't see too much or hear about, and so that's why I'm certainly proud to be a part of the production alongside Auckland Rugby League and OFC, the team in the back of the truck that are doing the business.
Thank you.
And I'll also acknowledge these 2 teams that have shown some good skill to be able to make it this far.
3 minutes in, and here we are, just on the halfway line. The Barracudas in possession. A little show, then a straighten from Stephen Robinson, the skipper today. He plays it for Allen. Some sharp work here wide for Mills. Puts the big fend on to Mills. And now he's to ground with 30 metres to play. Beautiful hands on show as there's a charge down there.
Almost a charge down with the head there, Dale. I think he, in fact, feels almost some concussion from the big up and under there that hit the mush. Might be the chance to see the replay.
Let's have another look. It was a very poor pass.
When you're ready, mate, on you. Hold. Go.
Both fell away.
Stand out off the legs. Here we are, mate. Hold. Go 1.
So the Seagulls now. The number 1 is Benjamin Tiatia.
Here we are, 9. Here, hold. Go. 11, stay out. On now.
Darren Uaba.
Stand now. 9 up.
Looks to
Hold.
Uaba, I guess perhaps a surname, I'm assuming, from
Movement now.
the African continent.
Legs. Go 4.
A little show at the back for Motila now.
Last tackle. Hold.
And so Motila is about 20 metres out from the try line as the Seagulls come a-calling. The Barracudas are there to wrap them up, but not a great conclusion to the set, Corey.
Wait for me, wait for me.
No, that's right. Poor finish there, but both teams sort of a bit of a feeling out period early in this one, and particularly some of the carries from Waitemata and these opening exchanges. Plenty of feeling in it, and they know that there's a statement to be made tonight.
Well, certainly a bit more pressure, I guess, on the Seagulls, who had a chance to take out their Premier First final, but just faltered at the last minute. And I mean really at the last minute. So the Seagull supporters will be hoping that they can get one back here in what is the Sharman Cup Plate final. And the Barracudas have the ball on the far side of the field, giving it some air as well early in the encounter. 5 minutes gone, no score.
Don't work him too. Don't work him.
Conditions seem to have eased up somewhat, Corey. Earlier in the day, we had some strong rain and a particularly strong wind from the northeast. How are things on at ground level now?
Yeah, settled right down now. There's hardly any breeze around, and obviously that rain has died off. We had a sort of 15-minute period a couple of hours ago where it rained hard, so the field is still quite wet. As a result, a little bit of dew left on the ball, but other than that, we're all good.
Uaba there, yeah, credit to the ground staff here at the stadium for the work that they have done. Just 5 metres the Seagull side of the halfway. A little step back onto the inside. Adam Davies is there to make the tackle, but a shoulder charge is the charge.
No arms.
And no arms on display. Of course, referees quick to penalise for that tendency in a tackle.
Oh, I almost missed the shoulder charge there, Dale. I was a big fan of it, but player safety is paramount, but you almost see sort of people's components of people's games diminished by the fact that there's no shoulder charges allowed. You see the likes of Ben Matalino, Sonny Bill Williams, who are known for that type of shot.
Yeah, but you probably want to see punch-ups and the like yesteryear anyway, Lewin. That's out of the game now, and it's yeah, safety is really important. Guys got families to raise and jobs to fulfil, so want to get out and enjoy their football. Not get cheap shots as we see a sighting run too from the fullback who cuts in, Tiatia. He's pulled down just a couple of metres from the try line. Looking to draw first blood in this encounter. As we see the Seagulls.
Off ball now, 9, off the ball.
Jersey almost lost as it comes now for the stepping effort back on the inside of the fifth and final tackle. Dummy half work for Dominique Folomu.
10's out of play.
A cut-out ball wide and numbers down the right edge. Looking like a decent finish there. And the first try looks to be fine news. No. Just...
That was last. That was last.
She took a while to put a flag up there, Dale.
Yeah.
That was last.
That's okay, though. We're a long way from that corner.
Yeah. Wait there, mate. On you when you're ready.
Corey might have saw it there, Dale. He's had most of the action down that end of the field. How was his eagle eye in that instance?
Yeah, a little far away for the eagle eye that time, Lewin. But yeah, look, it's good to see Waitemata looking to chance their arm early on in this one. It's been a pretty frantic start to this game. Not too many stoppages and a few boys blown already.
Folomu now, and here comes the charging run of Motira. He's only 10 metres out from the try line. Great opportunity here for the Seagulls. Almost capitalised on too from dummy half with a darting run. Almost came up trumps, and then the dive from dummy half and a spinning effort for Heathen Grant Pulevaka in jersey number 17 for the Seagulls. And he's got the try.
Yes. The ice has broken there, Dale, with Waitemata Seagulls coming in. I'm not a big fan of these dummy half tries. I think their value should be 2 points. But when you're that close to the line and when it's a grand final, I think anything to get the ball over the chalk would be just fine.
You've got some thoughts. Want to bring back the barge and the biff. Hey, 2 points for a try from dummy half close to the line. Any other quirky desires rugby league-wise there, Lewin? What do you think of some of these suggestions, Corey?
Yeah, well, he's sounding more and more like a future NRL CEO. I like it. So a little bit of innovation there. But nice work from the Waitemata Seagulls there. They spent a little bit of time down there and come away with a reward and kick from in front. You would think they're going to make it 6. So good start there for the local side.
The Barracudas under their posts. And it's an interesting name, isn't it? Heathen Grant. I bet you haven't heard of a first name like that, Pulevaka. But that's it. But it's 6-0 here for the local squad. I'll call them locals too, because they're Westies, and so are we today. In fact, I am even. Whereabouts do you live, Corey?
Yeah, currently living down in the Waikato, down in Te Araha, Dale. So that's where all my whānau are from currently. But born out of West Auckland, so I claim to be a Westie as well.
Boy, a Matamata Piako man, eh? Look at that. Well, we might be related down the track too, because that's sort of where our bones are from too, Hauraki people.
And also knowing that we might come to blows next week, Dale, because we know who's playing in the Sharman Cup final. Your junior club, the Blockhouse Bay Cougars, now called the Bay Roscoe Vikings, going up against my junior club, the Otahuhu Leopards. Bring it on.
Oh, it's a win-win situation for the husbands, I'd have to say, son. Well, here's a good little run as well, pushed forward by Trevor Strickland.
Hold! Hold! Go, Tenzel.
Well, I'm wondering, was a wonderful swimmer at one stage. Certainly there's some swimming skill in the Strickland family that I'm aware of. So the Seagulls have the footy, and they are pressing forward with 11 minutes gone.
Hold! Go. 8's in front, 8's in front. Go. You got to play. Stand up, 10!
The Barracudas is trying to find their way past the 20-metre line. So some pretty decent D coming in from the Seagulls at the moment. Remember, the Sharman Cup split into 2 divisions this year. This is the plate final. But, you know, it's a grand final, so irrespective of the grade, I have tremendous respect for teams that make it through to the final. That's what they play for, even if you're in the under-13s. We've been lucky this year. We've had a chance to call football from the 14s, 15s and 16s as well. So, yes, it's right that we focus on the Fox and the Sharman, the women's
What's the
competition,
touches?
but also
Square 11.
not forgetting the juniors and, of course, live streaming, giving us that opportunity to bring on stage all of these championships.
Same again. Heads in.
It's been a lot of fun to
Cigarette's feet.
see and be introduced
It's out.
to young players that could be the stars of the future. Meanwhile, at 6-0, it's the Seagulls with the ball, and this time Alan Toa tries to shake off some of the defenders. This guy's busying himself, Jack Allen.
Lost his legs. 0.
And a 0 tackle count for the Barracudas.
It's important that we acknowledge Troy Hardy and his team for giving us the opportunity to do so, and of course Tui and her team. Ngā mihi nui kia koutou.
Yeah, indeed. Auckland Rugby League keen to get their
Hold.
work and the efforts of the players that the organisation represents out to a wider audience, and we're doing that as we build capability and knowledge of our live streaming practices. Here's the kick deep, and it's a goodie too. 40-20, just check, was that outside the 40?
Inside, the ref was calling, and the scrum feed will go to the attacking team, the East Coast-based Barracudas.
There you go, it was a 40-20. We saw a couple of them earlier today, and Guthrie got 2 in 3 minutes. You don't see the 40-20s all that often.
Kevin Locke slotted one. Ben McCullum slotted one. Mind you, that was a big sort of breeze coming at the backs of those teams, and it was also on display here with the Barracudas having successfully completed a 40-20.
Dustin Hakarai to feed the scrum now as the Barracudas eyeball an opportunity out wide. They come to Ian Mills. He's cut down about 8 metres out from the try line. In fact, he's lost the football.
Up now 6.
Waitemata have got hold of it now. 12 out from their own line. The Seagulls popping the pass, and a wall of Barracudas defenders come and swamp the ball carrier. It's keeping it pretty close to the chest at the moment and to the ruck as the Seagulls work their way out to the 20-metre line. Now the 30. Good enthusiastic run by the man on the outside. Slippery surface causing problems. The big number 10 working hard, Adam Davies. Solid D, and up to make it count, John Houston. Looking good, Houston. We don't have a problem with that effort.
Stand up.
Geez, you're a funny man, Dale.
Oh, no, cut it out.
Funny looking.
Have a squizzy in the mirror. Here's the number 2, weaving and darting. Caleb Carter is his name, and Caleb is just shy of the 40-metre line. Barracuda's end of the ground. Allen feeds, and Josh Hale devours. He's wrapped up by Motira, the back rower for the Seagulls, and also assisted there by Pulivaka, the try scorer.
Up now. Don't work up. Here we are. Hold.
Crowd a little bit subdued at the moment, understandably, as these two teams locked in a bit of a battle, an arm wrestle. Down the short side they come, the Barracudas. Cut down just inside the 30. In fact, the ball has gone to ground. It's been lost. But just waiting for one of the teams to emerge with the passion and intensity that will give them the ascendancy at the moment there, Corey. And at the moment, it's just going a little tit for tat.
Yeah, very much stuck in a sort of holding pattern, isn't it, Dale? But East Coast Base starting to show a little bit more bite. They've had a couple of good sets with the ball here now, so I think we'll start to see this game open up a little bit. Of course, with the grand final, you always get usually a tense kind of opening 10 minutes or so. So as the teams start to relax, we should see a bit of footy.
Hasn't it been great the way the final 10 minutes of almost all the games today has been very exciting. There's been no runaway scores. And I guess it's back to the wall sort of attitudes that see everyone fight tooth and nail for that ball right up to the 80-minute mark. It's been an entertaining day at the footy this afternoon. And those of you watching at home, I'm sure you will agree. So with it now, the Seagulls on the 40-metre line they are. As there's a dart from dummy half. The tackle's made by Houston. 5th and final tackle. Dummy half work here for Richard Corbeau.
No, he never touched it. That's gone back.
The number 8 gets hold of it. He's the skipper, Matty Luisi. And then a bit of a scrambled kick. But it works out to be pretty effective.
I don't think he would have put in too many grubbers for himself there, Dale. The big front rower captain for the Waitemata Seagulls, Matthew Luisi, found himself in a bit of space and thought, hey, why not? Let's give it a go.
Every front rower's a standoff that eats too much. It's, you know, got to the table sooner than the others. But there's plenty of ball playing, big guys, as that ball gets jarred loose. Not a lot of enthusiasm to get onto it quickly, so the scrum will be packed. Had the Seagulls grabbed hold of it, the referee would have allowed that to play on.
Plenty of competition with big families there. You've got to get to the table first.
Yes, indeed. Otherwise, you get to the bottom of the boil-up pot and all you'll find is a few strands of watercress. No bones and no spuds. So it's 18 minutes gone in our final here.
Wait there, 17. Wait there. Wait.
This is the Sharman Cup plate final. Just a reminder to you as well, the Sharman Cup.
Let him up now.
As Lewin mentioned, Bay Russell v Otahuhu. The Fox final, Glenora versus Point Chev. What a classic game it was. The Point Chevalier Pirates and the Howard Hornets. But this is where the action is today, and a bit of a door opens there for Alan Taua. But he slips on the surface and is wrapped up about 8 short of the line. 10 to the left-hand side of the post as the Seagulls come a-calling and just look for a bit of a gap as Pulevaka seeks out a hole. Houston and Allen combine to make the tackle. In comes Tia to dummy half. He'll push forward himself, pushes it into the end goal, but too heavy. Perhaps a lack of communication, sideline Corey.
Yes, some positive signs there for the Seagulls. Execution a little bit off on that occasion. Of course, we have the added advantage of bigger in goals this week, Dale. Remembering last week the 3-metre in goals we had, which made sort of kicking on last tackle almost impossible. So we have seen some good kicking today, particularly given the wind. So we've seen a number of tries scored off kicks and spilled bombs as well. So don't be surprised if we see some aerial action later in this match.
Sure. I guess these ones would be, what, 6? What do you reckon? Maybe 6, between 6 and 8 metres, I guess, by the looks.
Yeah, that's right. Back to a normal sort of size, I guess. Last week was a bit crazy out there at Mount Smart Stadium number 2, and I did feel sorry for the halves. A very hard day to be a halfback.
Thank you. Up top, Trevor Strickland just too high on Jack Allen, and understandably a penalty afforded the Barracudas. They'll take that from 40 metres out from their own line. A good touch finder. Saves 30, 35 metres of hard work. Tap and go. Big tackle from
Don't work him up.
the number 16. It was Lecasa.
Go to one.
Travers Hale.
Stand 8. Let him go. Line.
Right in front of the post for the Barracudas. Chance here for Jamal Ropata, the back rower.
Straight up now.
And pulled down just a metre or so short of the line. A bit of a juggle required to secure the football for Hakaraya, as the Seagulls defenders got up on him lightning quick. Inside, changing the angle there is Robinson. And this is the last tackle for the Barracudas. Will they be able to earn themselves a repeat set? There's the kick into the end goal, and very, very close to a Barracuda try.
That's right. Unfortunately, not able to finish off the nice grubber here. We'll get another chance to see it. Clean delivery here from our hooker. Bit of dramas with the EVS there. Stuck in freeze frame. It's all right. These things happen sometimes.
Freeze frame. Sounds like a song from the 1980s.
Play when you can. Play when you can.
Really showing your age there, Dale.
Jay Giles Group.
He's going to play when he
want
can.
To check it out one day.
Play when he can. They can't get a fast play ball.
Hit us with a bit of it.
No, I won't. 28 metres out from the line. And the scrum is being set. The Barracudas have been in control for a moment or three. 21 minutes gone. 6-0 the scoreline. Just that one try. Scored by the big man, Heathen Grant Pulevaka.
When you're ready, 7.
And after 6 minutes, peeled away here from Hakaraya. Will go down the short side, and he picks up Robinson. Speaking of being picked up, Robinson is picked up by Lance Frost. 25 metres out. The Barracudas settling themselves for a tilt at the line.
Hold it, hold.
Allen, eyes darting, considering his options, and manages to go to Ropata.
Off the ball.
Jamal has tackled 10 from the line. Numbers to the right-hand side. Allen's aware of that. He'll go that way. Running decoy is the big number 10, Davies. Changing the angle, but running behind him too is Hale. And the Seagulls, they knew straight away that they'd earned themselves a penalty.
It actually sounded like a Seagull almost in that instance. Here's another show at how he shepherded his own player.
Yeah, it was accidental. Just out of position a little bit. Unco.
That was a prime opportunity, Corey, for the East Coast Bays Barracudas to try and lock up the scores.
Yeah, that's right. They've spent a little bit of time now down in attacking territory. Haven't really been able to put anything too convincing together. So no doubt a little bit of a work on for them, but they are getting into those good ball situations, which is an obvious positive.
So now the Seagulls held the ball. This time Luisi, the skipper, carts forward and finds himself just inside enemy territory. They'll go down the short side, drop off on the inside. Pulevaka looking for the runners, but the Barracudas sliding defence effective that time. The fullback gets into the action. Tiatia. Good insightful run as well on the fifth and final tackle now. Slow to his feet, the fullback. And then trying to just weight the ball nicely into the end goal. Well read at the back as well from Corey Craig. Only a young player by the looks, and he'll play it for Caleb Carter. And gets hold of the ball. Picked up on the tackle of Corbeau.
It's almost gone of the days, Dale, where these footy players wear boots with actual sprigs. Nowadays, they're more of the molds or the cleats style of boots, and we've seen this afternoon plenty of examples where the footwear isn't the most suitable for this type of pitch.
Yeah, it's something that coaches should really be leaning on their players about. You're quite right that studs, sprigs, it's almost terminology from yesteryear, but the reality is you can have longer sprigs if you've got a heavy track, and we've seen scrums being pushed backwards because of this tendency to wear moulded boots. I don't know that it's going to be the determinant tonight for the outcome of this final, but, well, who knows? So, yes, you should really have sprigs that are available to be changed in your footwear. We've got a bit of a issue here, and looks to be a knee injury, some running repairs. Time for us to go down and have some thoughts from Corey.
Yeah, that's right. It's an interesting one right now. Kind of hard to get a read on who is dominating this one, but two really good clubs who enjoyed good seasons this year. We mentioned they were both contenders in the Sharman top division last year, and of course East Coast Bays, they were in the Sharman Cup final only a few years ago against the Otara Scorpions. So two really proud clubs. East Coast Bays, famed for being Sean Kenny-Dale's junior clubs, or one of his junior clubs. I believe also the Anderson brothers, Vinny and Louie, I think they played a little bit of junior footy out at East Coast Bays as well.
Yeah, no, you're quite right there. Their old man coached very successfully with them as well. There was a period in the Fox Championship where they were very competitive. But of course you wax and wane, don't you, depending on the availability of talent. And sometimes you've got some top guns and then they move on or turn 30 or 35 and hang up the boots. And it's just a matter of the crop that's coming through. And the demography of these suburbs are constantly changing.
I think you may have called a game out of a tree there on the roof of the club there at the Barracudas home ground there, Dale.
Oh, I hope you're not suggesting I was out of a tree on top of the club. No, I called off the roof of the East Coast Bays Barracudas club rooms once, so we could get well, just high up to be able to see the game. Well, these are back in the days before you had the slick technology like we can operate with now. But at that stage, I think this is way back in old Tudor radio days, we just wanted to get a signal out. So if it was from a roof out of a tree, standing on a caravan, well, that's what we'd do. So I'm sure there are others who've tried to call sport from equally precarious situations. But yes, it was quite novel. Somebody took a photo of it once and said, I've got a picture of you calling the footy off the roof. Well, there you go.
Even in Tony Kemp's Humvee, is it?
The combi. Yeah, the yellow combi. We did call some games in Tony Kemp's yellow combi at East Coast Bays, that's right. It was our broadcast office for a time. It's nice to get a grandstand to call in here. Here's a kick from Richard Corbeau. It's been butchered and then picked up by the Seagulls, who get themselves well and truly within range and a full set at their disposal. Here's the skipper. He shows the ball and takes a dart towards the line. Comes up only just short. Dummy half work for Parko. He's got the ball and it's gone behind everyone. Chasing back. They've lost 20 metres. Tiatia gets up after going down.
11.
But number 11 was never onside.
No, not quick.
6-0. Pulivaka wants to get going with it straight away.
Okay, do it.
The referee says, just hold up for a minute, mate. Amaru Motira comes in to take the
when you're ready.
Penalty. So 12 metres out.
Up now, don't work him now.
And very close to the try line. Jack Allen's working overtime here at the moment. The hookup. And then a spinning effort or a rolling effort.
Roly-poly, Dale. Classic roly-poly. One of those two-pointer tries again out of dummy half.
And Dominic Folomu is in to score. Good on him too. And let's have a look at the roly-poly effort here, which is the description of a try I don't use very much. Over he goes.
Yeah, mate, we win.
Well, that'll be fair enough too then.
That'll be a first if you ask me. I haven't seen a try celebration or a try finish of that description. He's happy.
Well, can't moan at it. Dominic Folomu is in, and this should be a converted try as well, so we'll be locked up here. From right in front, Tiatia to take the kick. What did you think of that, Corey?
Yeah, nice little effort there from Dominic Folomu. Got the job done, although it wasn't too pretty, but he's been one of the better players in the Sharman Cup for a number of years now. Cracked the top 10 players list last year. A loyal Waitemata boy who wouldn't look out of place in many sides in this competition. So really talented player there at the bottom of the ruck.
And also, those of you at home, I just want to remind you that Corey's a qualified journalist. He does a lot of league writing and has a particular passion for our local league scene. Kiwi League Central is his website if you'd like to check out some of his articles. And I had a squizzy through the week too, I must say, Corey, and enjoyed what I found there. And Corey also writes for the NRL as well. Of course, I don't know what you wrote this week about the Warriors' chances. Did you tip them, mate?
No, I've tipped Manly for a big victory, although you never know. It is the Warriors after all, and Manly aren't in the best of form, so we shall see tomorrow, Dale, but we'll cherish that one, the last home game for the year, so looking forward to it.
And me too, and this is a bit of an upset as well.
I suppose they've got plenty to pay for, Dale. The fans deserve a good turnout from the Warriors boys, so the way that the season's been going, it hasn't been crash hot, but let's hope that they do something tomorrow for their fans.
Blind here. Heads in.
Absolutely right.
On you, 6. That's out.
The Barracudas now centering play.
Up now, 8.
15 metres out of the try line.
Back here, hold.
Nice to be in the middle because you've got the opportunity to go both sides. Front rower there, Aidan Davies takes the ball up.
Don't work him.
Tackle 2.
Hold.
Barracudas with a chance to go in before half-time. With the face ball there to the right-hand edge.
Straight up here.
Josh Hutte with the football.
Goes 3.
Apologies, it was Ian Mills.
He jumps. Release him there, straight up.
So Mills will get to his feet. Josh Hale. First receiver, Allen. Down to Hakaraya. And the Seagulls defenders get up on him.
Here we are, here.
I like what I'm seeing from Allen. Now comes on the short side and slipping into the tackle lure was Caleb Carter. Mills is there, but the damage is done.
You got the mic?
Right in front of you too, Corey. A bit of a disappointing conclusion. Let's have another look at that.
On you, when you're ready. Go.
They're really just slipping there. Caleb Carter, the right wing for the Barracudas.
I think he also realised that it was the last tackle, Dale, and he tried to offload the ball to continue play.
Stand 16.
Good defensive effort by Jamal Ropata on the skipper, Matty Luisi. Up the middle come the Seagulls. Crowd a little bit quiet as we step into the last 10 minutes of the first half here in the final of the Sharman Cup Plate for 2017.
Lost his leg.
Seagulls in control with 2 tries and a 12-0 scoreline. As they look down the right edge, is one of the try scorers, Pulevaka. He's wrapped up 20, in fact, nearly at the 40. There's the chip over the top. Which way will this ball bounce? Unkindly initially for the Barracudas, and it's still alive. The Seagulls have still got the football. Carter makes the tackle, a desperate tackle, 225 metres from the line. Richard Corbeau goes into dummy half. Here he goes, and there's that no-arm effort again from Ian Mills. He might get 10.
Go back. Go back. Hey.
Well, everyone knows the rules have been around for quite a while, so
Time's off.
you
Both
can't
captains.
feign ignorance, I don't think. Let's have a look at the effort. So here's Corbeau.
Yeah, mate. Both captains. Oh, go back here.
This technique was poor.
Good contact, but no arms.
We've got the shoulder charge, okay? We don't need your boys running in. Okay, we don't need your boys running in.
Not the best option.
Leave the stadium, go. We're here to play footy. Okay, yeah. I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with that now. That's why we got the penalty. Okay? Hey, with that, clean it up. On you or it's on me. Okay, you clean it, I'll clean it. Sweet, go back here for the penalty.
So the referees are keen to talk with the captains. And half the time, you get the feeling the captains don't go back and talk to their charges. So could have been a wasted conversation. Whether or not there was a message passed out there, I don't know. But what we do know is that the Seagulls have the ball. And this is problematic for the Barracudas because another try before half-time will make their task in the second 40 that much tougher. You're watching live stream coverage of the Sharman Plate Grand Final for the year. And, of course, the Seagulls have got themselves across the line.
Work now, work. Take him 10.
Am I right what I'm witnessing there?
On the line.
I think I've just seen someone arrive with a PA. Either that or a gas bottle. Is it a PA?
Straight up now.
An unusual inclusion in the grandstand. Number 7, Paco, for the Seagulls is wrapped up. The Barracudas must maintain strong focus here. Their very best defensive work needs to occur over the next few plays. Pulevaka decides to try and thread the needle himself. That ball has been knocked on.
Waitemata number 2, offside.
And the Waitemata number 2, 75 new, deemed to be offside. Inside the 10, and you hear the referee in the background there. I don't think there's any opposition or complaint about the call.
Here we are. Left side here. Go. Up now.
So the Barracudas on the 30-metre line. It's Jack Allen, who again is the distributor. This young bloke here stands out a little.
Oh no!
Blonde hair as we see the 4 Pierce Briars. Really needed to control the football. He couldn't. A bit sloppy. And that
back here. Good work, 9.
Description could be applied both ways here at times in this first half.
Hold. Go.
5 out from the half-time break. Cornel Lacasa.
16. Here we are.
Lacasa boys featuring prominently here in the Seagulls lineup. Dummy half work for Folomu, the try scorer. That ball's been charged loose as well. Hakaraya comes up with it. Wrapped up by Dowa and also his opposite Paco.
Hold.
Both teams, I suppose, just a little bit guilty of not holding the football with 2 hands or tucking it or securing the ball. Plenty of shots being put on from both teams, but ball security is very important in this game.
Of course, well, in any game, but certainly in finals, that's for real. Josh Hale.
Barracudas now down the left-hand edge with
ball,
Pierce
Six.
Bryars
Get him up. Left side.
keeping them on their toes.
Hold.
Yes, and
Go
the
forward.
Barracudas with the footy now. Inside they come. 16 is Jock Pryor. His
Last
name's actually
tackle.
Took It. They call him Jock Pryor.
Go, one mark,
To
go,
Allen.
six, out.
And now the crossfield kick.
Now
Well, it's more like a
three.
midfield bomb, to be
Go,
honest.
10.
And it's taken by
Pull
Hakadaya. He's lost the football. The Seagulls will come up with it. Little pop the ball late. Numbers are there.
Up now, forward.
Cameron Nicholas comes in to make the tackle just inside the 30-metre line. Seagulls ended the ground. Just the 2 tries scored here, one after 6
Stand
minutes,
up,
and one after 25.
Come on, who hold?
Both converted for the 12-0 lead that the Seagulls enjoy at the moment.
He's still got it.
That was solid, but maybe high.
Sloppy, it was just sloppy. Came up.
Sloppy is the description by the referee as well. No malicious intent. And everyone taking the opportunity for a bit of a breather.
Yeah, the captain there of the Barracudas was trying to remind the ref that was 2 in a row, and he also had that corridor with the players earlier on to tidy up their act, otherwise he'll do some cleaning for them. And by that he means cleaning out of players and sending some to this bin.
Yeah, well, the last couple of times have been charged with no arms in the tackle. Shoulder charge, but that time just a sloppy tackle technique that drifted up. Joseph Fortu's in 14, 15 today, Lacasa. This is Kainel Lacasa. His brother is in 16 today as Folomu goes to the right-hand side, and this is Lacasa. He's wrapped up 8 short of the try line. There's a big chance here now for the Seagulls. 3 minutes to play to the halftime hooter. Out it comes to Paco. Wide. And here they are, and off target to Corbeau. Just slightly forward.
He did really well there, Alan Taua, to be able to attract 2 to 3 defenders. Showed some good strength to be able to get on the outside and bump off one of the other ones, and when he tried to free his arm, dislodged the footy forward.
Mark's here, guys, Mark's here.
We haven't had anyone from the teams come and speak with us about pronunciation because, well, I'm thinking it's Corbeau, K-O-R-B-O-E. It could be Corboy.
Back. The touchies. That's out.
Our apologies for mispronunciation.
Stand up,
obviously, no offence intended.
Here, hold. That's one.
We're rattling through the games here today and just trying to give some decent coverage to
Stand
them
out,
as well.
Don't work him.
Well, the Australian commentators do it to our names all the time, Dale.
Okay, it's 2.
Well, I've made all sorts of mistakes over the years. I remember calling a bloke whose surname was Luke. I assumed it was Lukey. So, you know, no one's immune from blues. Let's put it that way. Hope you're enjoying the action anyway. 2 tries to 0, and the Seagulls looking pretty good. I like what I see from Hakadaya. He's got a sort of enthusiasm and a bit of guile, hasn't he, Corey?
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately, the East Coast Bays Barracudas, they look a little bit shell-shocked so far in this game. We haven't really seen any dynamic players on either side of the ball, anything too convincing yet. So hopefully they can start to find their way into this match as we count down to half-time and certainly into the second half.
Stephen Robinson, the skipper, the player just outside the 20. One of the best today has been Jack Allen, I think, the number 9.
Straight up.
He's been performing well. And that's him as he slides into his distribution role to Hakadaya. The cutout ball will find Mills. Mills towards the line. Mills is over the line, but can he get that ball down? I don't think he could.
I got grounding.
And we've got a grounding. He's saying that was a try. So the referee...
The touchy didn't get the chance to see if it actually went down, but the referee, Nathan, was Johnny on the spot, and he said he had grounding, so he's the man with the whistle, and he's got the mana to make those decisions.
So Ian Mills for the Barracudas, right on half-time. Well, this is the man who's got himself in trouble for the no-arm pass, and the way he's celebrating it suggests that he feels he's scored the try as well. And the referee right there for the call.
Bring it off the line.
And this will be a good shot for us to see what happens. So he's across the line there, and yeah, just a little bit of the leather to the ground. And a good try to Ian Mills, the centre for the Barracudas.
Also making up for his wrongdoings earlier on with the tackle with no arms. The shoulder charge his team was penalised for, but crossing over in that instance had made up for his poor mistake.
Caleb Carter from wide out. Bit of a look at the bench and the connections of the two clubs. And big ups to those behind the scenes too. Of course, we acknowledge our football players. There's so many who are involved. The big curve that time around, and it's 12-4 as the Hooter sounds in the background. Hope you're enjoying the fifth and final game of our coverage from Trust Arena in Auckland's West at half-time here in the Sharman Cup Plate Final. It's the Waitemata Seagulls who lead the East Coast Bay's Barracudas 12-4. We'll be back shortly with the start of the second half. At the break, 12-4, Seagulls lead.
Oh, give me where I've got it. Position. Move it up.
You don't know me. You've never seen me play. You don't know my name. You don't even know how to pronounce my name. I'm not a big star. You may think I'm a nobody, but nobody trains harder. Nobody wants it more. Nobody will surprise you. Nobody's tougher. Nobody. And come this October, who you don't know can hurt you.
Greatest tries you'll see in a World Cup.
Kia ora, welcome back. We're just about to get underway with the second half here for our last game of a big day of semi-finals and finals action here. On behalf of Auckland Rugby League, Dale Husband with you. Lewin Husband, Corey Rosser calling the action today, and just also acknowledging the work of our colleague Rusty Matu, who's been busy as a beaver throughout the course of the day. And he's returned to his whānau this evening. Welcome, welcome, wherever you are viewing our live stream coverage today. Thanks for your interest. And of course, the Seagulls got out to a 2-0 lead. Mills scored late in the piece for the Barracudas to give us our 12-4 scoreline, but early tries to Pulivaka and Fulumu. As you can see, the teams both in huddles, and the Barracudas at the moment keeping warm, running on the spot. Well, it looks as though no one's here. The reality is up in the stands, you know, a pretty neat sort of a crowd have been enthralled by the action throughout the course of the day. Just the way our broadcast is shaped today, shooting back towards what is effectively a creek on the other side of the field. But a decent stand, and the track in pretty neat condition. Of course, just recapping some of the results from earlier today, the Tahuhu Leopards had a real ding-dong battle with the Ponsonby Ponies to vie for a place in the final of the Sharman Cup. I'm pleased to tell you, if you're an Otahu supporter, your squad has survived and will do battle with the Vikings, the Bay Rossville Vikings, next week in that grand final. And then we were treated to an excellent game of rugby league too, in the major semi-final of the Fox Championship, that saw a last-minute long-range intercept try to the Point Chevalier Pirates, who again make their way into the grand final. This will be 5 years in a row for the Pirates. In the final, they lost last year to Papakura, as you'd probably be aware. And now they're up against the Glenora Bears in next week's grand final. Well, there they are, the East Coast-based Barracudas from Murray's Bay on the north shore of Tamaki Makaurau or Auckland. And today, a turnaround into the second 40. Remember, this is their grand final for the Sharman Cup plate. And it will be a big night of celebrations for the squad and supporters who are successful here after 80 minutes. 12-4 the scoreline as we come back into the action. Just about to get underway for the second 40. Corey Rosser has been hovering around both of the caps. Corey, what did you hear?
It doesn't matter. I think the message, just try and get it to some quick play the balls. They felt like they were winning the middle battle, but then were getting slow to play the balls, so their hooker wasn't really able to take advantage. And for East Coast Bays, ball control, ball control, ball control. Let's make them do some defensive work. They've dominated the first half, and yet the scoreboard doesn't look too bad.
Okay, thank you, Corey. We'll be coming down to you regularly through the course of the second half. Here are the Barracudas first with possession, but some real enthusiasm in the defensive work early on as well from their opponents. Number 4 is Pierce Bryars, and he's wrapped up just outside the 20. The back row is Ropata.
Hold. Goes 3.
Front on D that time around from Dominique.
Hold.
Number 9 for the Seagulls. And again, some enthusiasm for the defensive work there by Lance Frost. And that was, well, as you can see, slipping into the kick.
Your turn.
We're not back to 10.
Wait there.
So, very fortuitous there for the Barracudas. And a bit of lip as well.
Watch the lip. Go, Max.
Been really impressed how the way Nathan has refereed this game. He's made it clear that he's the man in the middle with the authority to control the game, and he's been communicating with the players well.
Wait for the contact.
That's a good example for our young referees. He's quite young, in fact, himself.
Yeah, good communication and consistency. That's all the teams are after. And he's been providing them with just that. Out we come to 16. This is Jock Pryor.
Release them now, 13. Here we are.
A good little opportunity here for the Barracudas, who find themselves in good field position. Aided and abetted too by those penalties that saw them career downfield without much effort. On it comes to Hakalaya. Nice flat pass and out wide to Briers, and then for a very straightforward try early in the second half to Cameron Nicholas, the left wing for the Barracudas. As simple as that.
Yes, a great display of shape and structure there, Dale, with the Barracudas delivering the ball to the left-hand edges, had people in motion, people running holes, some block runners, backdoor plays, passing in front of the players, so the players running onto the ball as well, and finished off nicely there by the Barracudas winger, Caleb Carter.
I think it's down the left side, is it? Is it Nicholas Cam?
Excuse me, I'll correct myself.
I think it is the number 5. Carter's working the right side, I think, for the Barracudas, but either way, some solid work and pretty straightforward, and maybe the guys giving lip might like to think about
biting the tongue.
I reckon so. Sideline with you, Corey.
Yeah, nice little try there for the Barracudas. A dream start to the second half. You can see they're standing a little bit deeper on that one. They were guilty of being a little bit flat in the first half, which was meaning they didn't really have any chances to set up their set plays. So nicely executed there. They'll be very happy with that start.
So we'll just await this kick here, and I'm going to find out a little bit more about your Taurua connections, Tauroha connections, not Taurua. Wow. As we just await the conversion attempt from Caleb Carter. We set that nicely. Is it going to come around enough? No, it won't. So we'll go to 12-8 now, the scoreline. Just wondering, with your sports journalism interest, because Richard Beck's from there, did he encourage you along, or were you familiar with that?
Yeah, that's right. I actually met Richard when I was a young fella, and he took me through the Warriors and showed me what his job was all about, which was pretty cool, and was one of the things that sort of inspired me to pursue this career. So yeah, that's right. The little town of Te Araha, there's only about 4,000 people there, but myself and Richard Beck now obviously working within the NRL media there, which is pretty cool. So it's not a rugby league town. It's a rugby town. It's a big union mad kind of place. But we just got a league team over in Morrinsville, so there is some representation down there now, Dale.
Really? Okay, well, I'm pleased to hear that. Famous for the Mountain of Love.
You're a fan of Morrinsville as well, Dale. I was born there as a young Pepe in the year of 1988.
Were you? Yeah, of course you were. Yes, you're a Waikato boy. There's no doubt about you. 20 metres out from the try line. Scrum feed here now for the Seagulls. The crowd quiet. And they really, you get the feeling with no doubt more from the west than from the north. They will dominate numbers-wise. I'm sure they'll get fired up through the course of the second half.
That's out.
So now the Seagulls, with a great opportunity for them, with a full set and 15 metres out from the try line. Quick play the ball for Folomu. A settling run from the first receiver, one left.
Goes 2.
Folomu has already proved his effectiveness with the forward roll try-scoring feats. Well, in that first half, 25 minutes into that first half, in fact.
Line, hold!
A little bit slow to get to his feet. Amaru Mautira. The big running Lakasa.
Last tackle!
Now they'll be looking for a repeat set here, the Seagulls, if it can be achieved, to Pulevaka. Tia. Numbers, straightening, offload, clever, run for the line. Good, try scored. Yes, the try is scored by Fainu. Sevele Fainu, and a good lead-up effort here by the Seagulls. That's brought the crowd alive.
He's allowed to move
Yeah,
around.
well, we saw a similar sort of shift of play from the Barracudas down the other end of the field about 5 minutes earlier where Cameron Nicholas scored, and this time the Seagulls showed their skill and their ability to shift the ball from side to side as well, and did a great job here. Suli Maasi feeding the ball to his pairing winger, Sevele Fainu. Great comeback from the Waitemata Seagulls.
Right in front of you too, Corey. There's a bit of skill involved with the try, and he had to have a couple of goes at the line before the referee called him home.
Yeah, that's right. It was a brilliant tackle first up from the East Coast-based scramble, but did get over the line in the end. But I don't think there'll be any major dramas for the Barracudas with that one. I know they've conceded a try, but they looked pretty well organised in defence on that occasion. They were just undone, as you say, by some good skill out there on the edge. It's all looking pretty positive in their team huddle behind the goal as it stands.
So this is hitting Grant Pulevaka.
Has he got 17 on his back or the number 7?
Looks like this. Well, that's the number 17.
Yeah.
It's good to see. There've been some good goal kickers come out of the engine room, mate. Don't you worry about that.
I'll back him in there too, Dad. I'll put $10 on it, you keen?
Yep, I'll cover that. But we shouldn't be taking bets while we're commentating. Lewin. Oh, look at that. That's money for old rope. That is money for Jan. I know. I'll put it on your bill. It's up to $3,645,000 now. The cost of raising a child in New Zealand.
Which way?
Great to have you along here in our broadcasts today. Our celebration of rugby league. Been great fun bringing the junior footy, women's footy, and all of our grades alive through the coverage available across the net.
Stand now, off the ball.
16-8, an intriguing battle here for the final of the Sharman Club plate. 8.5 minutes into the second half now.
14.
The Seagulls
Hold.
will be buoyed by that addition to the scoreboard. Confidence levels on the rise as the big men work their way forward.
Stand.
Adam Davies working hard as well on D. That's him with his head strapped. Marcy,
Up now, 6.
a couple of nice touches from the centre.
Hold here, mate. You wait. Hold here.
This time rolls to his feet, Falomu. Luisi,
Here we are. Last tackle.
fifth and final here for the
18,
Seagulls.
stay out.
Pressure on. And chip over the top from Pulevaka. Support kick.
Fucking go. Right here. Hand over. Hand over was last. Wait there, 6. Wait there. Wait there. Wait there. Here we are. 4.
So on the halfway line, the Barracudas get hold of the ball. Jack Allen is let's have it quickly.
Up now, 8. Don't work him.
Settling run
5
through the
here.
middle at the moment.
That's 1. Off the legs.
Lopata put away by Luisi.
Goes 2.
Hakaraya. An audacious step too as he comes back in the inside. But on the far side with it, Caleb
Lost
Carter.
his legs. Let him on.
Cut down as well, 20 metres out from the try line. One down on
Go,
Chooks,
that's
2. One of the Seagulls down in back play. So one short of the defensive line. Ian Mills runs with
Last
purpose
tackle.
and aggression.
Straight up.
And that's good to see. Hakaraya
Takes this good.
looking to thread the needle. There's a chaser in there. And the tackle is made too. Some clever play from the Barracudas.
Been very impressed with Dustin Hakaraya down in his eagerness, I suppose, his enthusiasm that he shows towards the football and his game. Plenty of opportunities they've had there with penalties given to their squad, and he's decided to just take the tap and carry on with play. And it's good, sort of a display of attitude and enthusiasm to his game.
Yeah, he's been very good today. Some cramp in the final. It'll be the first one. We've been quite lucky as far as injuries concerned through the 5 games. A couple of issues, but for the most part, minor injuries, and that's the way we want to see it. Unlike last week when we had coverage and one of our games took a long time to conclude, the under-20s. Congratulations to the Monaco Magpies as well, who won that battle against Richmond. A delayed start because of some issues with the lighting at Mount Smart too. And then a major injury midway through the game saw a game that was supposed to start at 6 conclude at around 9.
We almost didn't get home to watch the All Blacks there, Dale.
Behind the line,
I know that's cross-code speak, but that's all right.
Wasn't exactly in a hurry to watch that debacle either. But we know that a lot of these players drift between codes. It's sort of understandable in modern New Zealand sport. As we see a really big kick too, 55 on the fly. From underneath the crossbar, this is Justin Barr. He's lost the ball on his first carry. And Lacasa comes up with it. 16-8.
Hold it, hold.
10 gone in the second half. The Seagulls with it.
Up now, 9. Here, hold. Go, 1 marker, 14's out.
Seagulls there, centering
Up
play.
now, 9.
Just a little dart out of dummy half, tackle 2.
That's 2.
Directing down the left edge now, we see the fullback taken and a good tackle from the 13 of Ropata. It's Benjamin Tiatia. With the captain now, the front rower, Matthew Luisi for the Seagulls. 30 metres out, centre field.
Luisi plays the ball as we come down the right-hand side. Short side effort too, and Marcy, who's combined nicely on the right edge with Fainu, this time is put away 15 metres out from the line. Now Pulivaka is the kicker, and it's ended up in the hands of the fullback. Can he weave some magic here, Corey Craig? A decent chase too from the number 11, who has a second dig at him, Trevor Strickland.
Don't need to drag him. Tackle's complete. As soon as you hit him, tackle's complete. I don't need to. You should know.
We didn't call it, and so Trevor Strickland thought, well, I'll have another go.
It was unfortunate there for Trevor Strickland, because he did turn and approach the ref and say, what's the story?
Take it back, take it back.
Nathan replies, you should know, mate, the tackle's already completed.
Well, as you say, I thought he did a pretty good job just getting at him too, because for a moment there, Corey Craig was quite threatening. If he had to split them, well, there might have been an open run for him. He looks as though he's got some gas as well. So now the Barracudas keeping themselves well in the hunt here. 16-8. This game could go any way. We've seen in the previous encounter 2 late tries to get the victory.
He's the player. 18's the player.
Very
where you are.
Disappointing
for
the West Aucklanders in the game that preceded this, which was the Premier First final. Hibiscus Coast Raiders getting up after a late charge in their final. Slipping in the tackle was Hakalaya.
Last tackle!
We were hoping there was Strickland standing over him. Hakalaya is okay. Out it comes to Stephen Robinson. Punches it into the corner. Some pressure on at the back for the Seagulls.
Up now, forward!
Taken really well there, Dale, by Benjamin Tiatia.
1. You got to play?
Performed really well this evening for the Waitemata Seagulls.
Yes, he has. He's been going good, Tiatia. Well, a bit of an arm wrestle developing here too in the early stages of the second half, and wriggling his way to his feet quickly too as the winger Fainu. Ball's been lost. Knock on Seagulls Barracudas feed. Corey, thoughts?
Yeah, real arm wrestle developing here now, Dale, and you're starting to see the quality of these two teams, mostly from the fact that the defence has really started to come into it now. They're making some really good reads, and points are becoming harder to come by. So starting to get into the kind of nitty-gritty, I guess, which is what grand finals are all about. So really looking forward to the back end of this second half.
That's out.
So the Barracudas having a chance with Ian Mills. I like what we see with Ian Mills, and a bit of a juggle on the far side. Well, I don't know what you thought there.
Up now.
That had everything, didn't it? It was sort of a game in one man's hands. Caleb Carter went all over the place, but he managed to retain possession
Back here. Hold.
despite
That's two.
juggling like a Russian circus clown.
Stand now.
Adam Davies has the footy
16
now.
up.
Here's a good chance too for the Barracudas. Out it comes to Robinson. Robinson looks at the back, picking up Craig. He gasses himself into the field of play and almost slides across the line. Instead, he does slide across the touch line. And in fact, it's the number 4 Bryars.
Almost looked to be a bit of a second effort, if you ask me, Dale. Some late arrivals of allies or troops coming in to force the centre there over the sideline. Pierce Bryars. We see another look at it here. Tackle made there, 2, 3.
I see what you're suggesting, that the Seagulls have come in and bolstered the tackle after it has already been made. I guess that was a possibility. The referee would see it that way, but
I suppose it was just in the one momentum. So the tackle had yet to be completed.
Pulivaka feeding the scrum.
Now 10.
15 metres out from the try line.
Yeah, mate, you're right here. Hold it. Hold it.
Don't forget finals day next week for Auckland Rugby League at Mount Smart number 2.
He's squared up. He's squared up. That's one.
The man who played the ball there is in poor nick in the back play. But it's still with the Seagulls who have the ball. Bit of a broken wing, that goal.
Up now, straight up now, 12, up. Goes 3.
Short side, Tia.
Movement now.
Liking what I'm seeing from his attitude and his carry.
Hold. Go, that's 4.
It's the skipper, inspiring those around him. Trevor Strickland gets a piece of the action as well. And everyone putting their hand up for a slice of the pie. Short side work, a little bit forward, not much in it, but it was certainly drifting forward. The referee gets a call as well. 16 gone in the second half. 2 tries, the first of them to Nicholas after just 3 minutes for the Barracudas. They make the score 12-8 after a 12-4 lead for the Seagulls at the break. And Fainu scoring a few minutes later for the Seagulls for the 16-8 scoreline that we see at the moment. No score for the last 10 minutes or so. And some running repairs necessary as well with player down. Looks like a calf or knee.
Just so you know, Max.
And he's very sore, as you can see by the facial grimaces in the background there. And while Matty Luisi comes up to have a chat with his opponent, Adam Davies. I guess these two teams have seen quite a bit of each other through season 2017. There's a wonderful sense of whakawhanaungatanga and camaraderie that exists in these grades. Recognising that everyone's making an effort to stay a bit fit and to network and enjoy each other's company. That's what sport's about.
Hand over, guys. Hand over. Hand over. Hand over.
Contributing to the fabric of our New Zealand lifestyles and our communities. Some awesome characters involved in local league and local sport. We salute them tonight. So the ball's played here, and it's Jack Allen who works acting half, and the ball's jarred loose too. That's what the crowd love to see. And the Seagulls have possession. Across the top goes Davies.
0.
Josh Hale plays the ball, and there is a run and a big hit too. And a high shot as well. I'm sure that the referee got some word from the touchy on the far side. And it was high. And I don't think there can be a complaint about the penalty as well. So the skipper says, let's kick it to the side, and Tia says, well, I'm the man for that. A big chance here now. Inside the 10.
Hit the line.
For the Seagulls.
Up here, up here.
Strickland takes the tap.
Up here. No. Up here. Take it there. Go.
There's some picturesque images there as the light shines across
Up now, 3.
the stadium
Line. Oh.
here in West Auckland. The big number 10 gets a go.
Arms are there. Stand now. Up 7, up. Good work. It's 2.
Darren. Dowa.
Stand now.
Robinson, the
Back here,
tackler.
12 here. Make me here. 12.
Right in front.
Goes
12
through.
out. Pulavaka pushes on, Tia with a pass, and dancing down the sideline is Fainu. Desperately trying to stay in. Sideline with you, please, Corey.
Yeah, they obviously got the try down there a few minutes ago, so like their chances again. But on that occasion, good scramble defence from East Coast Bays, and the pass was a little bit high as well, which obviously threw them off. So positive signs, though, for Waitemata, obviously turning the ball over earlier and spending a bit of time down here, so starting to build a little bit of pressure on the Barracudas.
There he is, Fainu Seville.
Good work.
He scored a wonderful try after 6 minutes into the second half.
When you're ready, 6. When you're ready. It's out. Up now, 11. Here we are.
15 metres from their own line. Quick play the ball. Jack Allen delivers up. Now for the Barracudas, want to force their way downfield.
Move now, 13.
They're down by 8. Plenty of time, of course. Adam Davies gets hold of the ball. He's wrapped up by Strickland, flung to ground. Quick play the ball. They'll go down the short side.
Mate 10. Stand now.
Calling for the football was Ropata. That's him sliding into acting half.
Inside.
A big one downtown as well for the Seagulls. It's balanced nicely. In fact, tapped back in by Fainu. Trying to create an opportunity for Corboe on the far side of the field. 12 metres out from the line. Tia wants the ball quickly for the play the ball.
Go 1.
Yeah, good work there from Seville Fainu. Dale being able to identify that kick was made inside the 40 and showed good speed and knowledge of the game to be able to get back and tap the ball in to prevent a 40-20.
Nice technique, reading it well. This is Sulimasi, and he'll play it as the Seagulls move forward.
3's out.
But needing a bit more purpose and direction. Luisi says, well, I can provide some of that and a bit of go forward as well to boot. 5 short of the halfway.
Outside.
Crossfield, they come over their head and towards the touchline. And the Barracudas might struggle here. Touchline play, not at all. The number 5 does well. Cameron Nicholas takes it to the 20-metre line. His teammates come around him now. From the far side is Caleb Carter, looking for a way through the middle. Carter away from one. And then barreled for his trouble. Showing some courage under fire. Caleb Carter. Speaking of courage under fire, here's Davies. He's been involved in everything today, Adam Davies.
That's 3.
Allen, Ropata, Hakaraya, Mills, Carter.
Stay now, wait, let him go. That's 4.
A little bit of a dummy there from
Last tackle.
Ropata.
9 here, 9, make me here.
But Jamal, despite his efforts, Strickland says, well, I'm not falling for that one. In slippery conditions. Great Stephen Robinson. He launches the ball. That's been lost. It's gone backwards. The Seagulls recover and it's okay for them. So they take it in front of their post. It's about 10 metres out. And up to play the ball is Dominic Folomu.
Yeah, I was pleased with that 5th tackle option there. Shown from the 6. Stephen Robinson being able to put the ball in the air. Especially with these looming big floodlights coming down on your mush. It's a hard one to read and a hard one to take.
Yes, it is. If you're staring into them, of course it is. Difficult circumstances. Both teams are greeted by the same challenge. Big ups to Auckland Rugby League and all their connections. The front office staff have helped to coordinate the final series last week with junior finals, and of course here for our coverage today. Especially Greg Whaipu, the General Manager of Auckland Rugby League, and Troy Hardy, the Digital Manager. both doing sterling work.
Stand now. Here we are. Hold him, mate. Hold. Okay, it's 2.
Here's the big number 11. So time for me to have a go, and John Houston gets cut down too. As across the top comes Luisi.
3.
Well, the game is here to be won. 16 to play as they look down the right side, the Barracudas. Mills has been strong tonight. And they find himself 8 metres out from the try line. Through Hakarayan, Rapata. Holding up, nice little ball. Robinson sees the line on the 5th and final tackle for the Barracudas. Hoping for a penalty. Numbers on the far side, taking it to the line, to the pass, and the Barracudas are in through Mills. What a deserved try out wide for the boys from the north side, and Ian Mills is credited with that try, but a good team try here for the Barracudas.
Yeah, did well there once again, a classic effort of just keeping their head. I've been really impressed with the way Jack Allen's served his backs and his forwards. He's shown some good delivery of the football and has finished off well there once again from Ian Mills. Corey.
Yeah, nicely worked there, and East Coast Bays again just showing plenty of confidence despite being behind all through this game. They've shown confidence throughout, and on that occasion rewarded. So some good signs for them as they approach the final exchanges of this one, and certainly plenty of energy on their bench as well. They're riding every hit up. So it's going to be an interesting closing few minutes to this one. Waitemata there having a few choice words behind the end goal. They won't be happy with that one. They know they let themselves down there with a couple of bad reads.
Well, the club was unlucky to come away with the Premier First silverware, and let's hope that this isn't the case also for their Sharman Cup team in this plate final.
We got it in the victory. The Barracudas seem to be coming home with a wet sail. That kick is fine as well. So 6 points in there, 16-14 scoreline.
2 points in it, Dale. We've got another close game that could go either way. We've been spoiled this afternoon into the evening with close games in both the Sharman Cup and the Fox Memorial and our women's game that we had also. Indeed.
There have been some wonderful finals today. Saw the image of a referee streaking past. I want to pay tribute to them as well. The Auckland Referees Association, they do wonderful work in keeping the game alive. And of course, always on the hunt for people who are interested in getting in the middle of the park and enjoying the box seat as far as watching the game unfold is concerned. The big number 8 takes it in, Rode Brown.
Hold it, hold.
And he's to his feet now, midway 20 and 30. The ball's been lost. The Seagulls are in the best position possible here because they're 30 metres out from the try line. And some questions here from Adam Davies. The referee will stick with his original call, and that is that the Seagulls will get the scrum feed. Corey, that's in front of you. What do you think Adam Davies was speaking of?
Yeah, that's right. Not really what they needed. Obviously coming off points there. So this is going to give the Seagulls a really good opportunity to stall that momentum that was building for East Coast Bays. And off they go.
So the Seagulls with it. A shunting first run from the scrum base. It can be attributed to, is it Pulevaka?
That's good. Stay out, stay out. Well, he's in there. Okay,
this is the centre. Marcy. And, almost a sloppy carry there for Sosefo Fainu. Fainu to his feet now, where he'll play it for Folomu. Looking for a way through. The Seagulls, 10 metres out from the try line.
Go, that's 4.
Luisi.
Last tackle.
Big Matty Luisi is only a couple of metres away. Now, will the Seagulls try to thread the needle and stay in the hunt? There's Pulevaka, and the kick is well read and nicely contained as well by the left wing, Cameron Nicholas. He's got hold of the footy now, and the fullback got himself involved in that play as well, Corey Craig.
Yeah, I was really impressed the way Josh Huston rushed up and put a bit of pressure on the kicker. Caused them a bit of confusion when trying to thread the needle, as you said, Dale.
Little pop pass there for Ropata on the far side, and Hakaraya keeps it alive. Caleb Carter gets an opportunity to show his speed, and he's weaving around. Caleb Carter, look at him go. Oh, look at him go. Beautiful, the fullback, Corey Craig. And what a take by Corbo.
2 minutes.
And there's a professional foul. And that's a shame to conclude in such a way. He might come on for the last 30 seconds, but that will be all.
Early shower, I think, for Corbo, who's been quite the performer this afternoon. He hadn't been too dirty in most of his play here, and I think just a bit of frustration kicked in with an awesome break shown there. He really did show his speed there, Dale. Caleb Carter, and linked up well with his fullback, Corey Craig, and Corbo just laid on him till his boys came back and regrouped.
Well, that will be an opportunity here to square things up. And so a very costly error. But it could have been a try-saving tackle. Your thoughts, please. Sideline Corey.
Yeah, that's right, a blatant professional foul, but it was going to be a try, I think, down this left edge if he hadn't committed the foul. But look, I think you can look back on this as the turning point in the game. I think from here, the East Coast Bay's Barracudas can overcome Waitemata, who are already looking a little on their haunches and now going to have to do it with 12 men for the remainder of the game.
Well, there's the silverware that is on offer here. This is the Sharman Cup Plate Final. And the Barracudas now looking to square it up at 16-all with a penalty here. And 9 minutes to play. It's missed. Amazingly.
I mean, I understand that this is the grand final, Dale, but it's not the championship final. Why would you go for the two?
Or to square up.
Take the tap and kick on, bro.
Well, I know you want to advance rule changes, but let's throw every traditional practice out the window.
I might be running for government next week.
Is he on or off?
Well, look, that's a bit disappointing, but you know, pressure is a tough master.
Stay behind, stay behind.
Well, that time around.
Mind you, Dale, they do get the dropout, the 22 dropout off the kick. This man has shown his skills. Benjamin Tiatia with drop kicks, not this time. His biggest one landed 55 on the fly earlier on.
Well, remember the Barracudas, though.
Back here.
Well, they have one extra man, don't they? So here we go. Into the last 8 minutes of play, Adam Davies takes it forward to the 40 metres. Down the right side, Hakaraya first receiver on the right. Ian Mills has had a strong game. He's already scored twice. And again, he gets those big thighs of his pumping as well. But he's driven towards touch. Here I am giving him raps, and the Seagulls.
Easy, easy.
Standing over each other. And of course, we've got an impressionable young lady over there as well. So we need to keep our cool and decorum.
They also need to remind themselves, Dale, that they have the advantage. They have the one extra man on the field. And ill discipline and reacting to sort of a bit of stick wouldn't be the best decision for the Barracudas.
Well, let's hope they don't fall for some taunting. It's been played in pretty good spirits, to be honest. Been enjoying that side of the afternoon's encounters. Haven't seen anything erupt. There's a few threatening moments. Things might have become a bit of a barney, but the players have pulled their heads in at the last moment. So 13 plays 12 here, and the Seagulls have a 2-point lead. It's at an intriguing point, is it not? So who will just keep their heads and possession and come away with the win? Certainly from West Auckland's perspective, they'll be wanting the Seagulls to do well. Jamal Ropata throwing himself into his work. Luisi again gets hold of the ball and takes it to the 40. No nonsense approach from him, but some solid D put on him by Davies. That was another no-nonsense carry, and Stephen Robinson makes the tackle. What have the Seagulls got here? You'd expect the deep kick, and Pulivakarot for the kick to the touchline. So just inside the 30, the scrums to be packed here. And of course the Barracudas will get the football The last of our 5 games, counting down to the last 6 minutes of the afternoon's finals.
It wasn't the deepest kick, Dale, but the fact that it found the touchline was a great outcome for the Seagulls.
Let's go, come on.
Especially with the 2-point advantage at this stage in the clock counting down.
Come on. When you're ready. That's out.
So peeling away. And here he comes with a hard charge. Pierce Bryars. He's on the 30 metres. Long way to go for them as we count it down towards the last 5 minutes. No way through. Matthew Luisi saying, well, hey, I've got a little bit of energy left and I'm going to use it to really harass and harangue these runners. We might be 1 man down, but if I play with the enthusiasm of 2, we can counteract the shortcomings numbers-wise. Down the right side, ball's pushed across there from Josh Hale. Hakaraya keeps it alive. I think it's back for Hale now.
Stand!
On the 40, the Barracudas. Quick play the ball. The Robinson. Ball over the top. Finds Bryars again. He's wrapped up by Marcy.
Hold! Last tackle.
5th and final tackle on the Barracudas. What have they got to show here? Allen. Crossfield. Big kick to the end goal. Too deep as it turns out. And easily taken by Lance Frost.
Release him!
Is wrapped up with the footy now, right in front of the posts. 16-14, 4.5. It's the Seagulls who will need to protect their lead as Tia takes it across field and also pushes forward at the same time about 15 metres. Back up through the centre.
Stand out 12.
Door shoving strongly here as the 16 makes the tackle. Pryor and also Davies. Davies has been a standout performer here today for the Barracudas. Marcy is held. They're on the 30 metres. Luisi again.
Last tackle.
Hugely impressed by Luisi's attitude in this last 20 minutes. Here's the kick by Pulevaka.
Off the foot.
Off the foot as well by Nicholas. Back in the centre field. Well, now the Barracudas, they've got to work cleverly and smartly. What do you think they need to do, Corey?
Yeah, they need something dynamic, don't they? Because Waitemata look content to just get through their set and kick the ball into touch, which if they do it often enough is going to get them the win here. So the Barracudas, all emphasis on them now. They need a dynamic play, whether it's going to be one of the halves or one of the big boys through the middle of the park.
Here's Hakaraya, who will play it for the hard-working Allen. Pops the pass back to the former. Then he keeps it alive to Houston. And he is wrapped up. So centre field, 40 metres out from the try line with 3 minutes to play. 13 players on 12. And there's the chip over the top. A bit of a fumble on the far side. Carter's got pace to burn. He pops the pass too. It's going towards touch and will beat everyone into touch.
What about the first knock on there, Dale? There's no advantage there to the Barracudas. I feel that the crossfield kick was good. But the Frost, number 6, got caught out. Lance Frost with a knock on here, so they have another opportunity with only 2.5 minutes to go.
So the scrum feed for the Barracudas. And a bit of cramp here on the far side of the field. The crowd are a bit subdued, bearing in mind that their beloved Seagulls could be on the cusp of a very important history-making victory here for the club. This is the Sharman Cup Plate Final. You're watching it across the internet, live streamed on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League and its sponsors. Now just a little lull in proceedings as we await for the injury on the far side. They don't normally stop for too long on what are seen as cramp issues. If there were major injuries, well, that could be something different. At the moment, it's the back rower, Amaru Motira, who's to his feet. An exciting conclusion to our lengthy coverage of finals and semi-finals today. 8 o'clock local time.
Heads in, on the line.
Countdown with just over 2 minutes to play.
Oh no, it doesn't. They got one in the bin.
Barracudas with the scrum feed down by 2.
Wait there, Stephen, wait there. You wanted them. No, you don't need them. You don't need them. No, because I got one in the bin. No, I got one in the bin. All good. Yeah. Heads in. Let's go. Come on. Time's ticking. Head on. Yep, serious foot.
The last 2 minutes of the Sharman Cup Plate Grand Final for 2017. It's the Barracudas with the ball as Robinson gets it across. A floating pass, nicely picked up on the half volley by Nicholas 2 on the left wing.
Don't pull him, don't pull him.
So he's 15 metres away from the try line. He'll play it to the fullback, Craig. He sends it back on the inside to Briers. He's wrapped up 8 metres from the try line. Will it be a sensational conclusion from the Barracudas' perspective? They're close to the line. 16 on the carry. Jock Pryor.
Up 6.
Deep into the tackle count. The Barracudas. Out it comes to Lopata. Throws the dummy, but nobody falls for it. And Jamal will play it a couple of metres out from the line. Trying to dart over from dummy half as the man has been busy today. And Jack Allen has got the try. Well, we've been singing his praises all day. One of the smaller men on the field. And Jack Allen sneaks under the guard of the Seagulls defenders to secure a try and perhaps the title.
Yeah, I was a little bit anxious there. I was a little bit worried that you're possibly not allowed to barge through your own teammate, like your own play the ball. But he did go to the side of him, but he also took out a leg of one of his own players.
The guy's tackling and pushed him in. He can't just disappear. No, he can't just disappear. Okay? You went your way as well.
The question's being asked, quite understandably too, by the Seagulls skipper about the referee's decision. But he is adamant he made the right call. And that's rugby league, isn't it? Well, one team's disappointment is another's elation. Sideline with you, Corey, with your thoughts, please.
Yeah, the heart bleeds for poor old Waitemata there. They were so courageous over the last 9 minutes or so. Just kept defending their line and getting to their kick. And in the end, it looks like they are going to lose on a try there. But remembering they were down to 12 men for the last 9 minutes of this one. So it's been a great effort from those guys, as we see now actually the Simbin player returning to the frame. I'm not sure how much time we've got left in this one, but you would think it's going to be game over, and the East Coast Bays Barracuda are going to steal a stunning grand final victory here.
They're looking for the extras. It's Caleb Carter. The flags are up.
Good work, Max. Good work.
20 points to 16. There's the East Coast Bays Barracuda supporters. They'll be wrapped as well. They're in their home base of Murray's Bay.
No doubt a short kick will be coming up on the cards there, Dale.
And that's absolutely the only way. And they should be making a little bit more pace as well.
Which way are you going?
We're just on 15 seconds
Your way, Max.
to play. I don't know what they're waiting for. It looks as though he's got it lined up to kick deep. It's got to be short. And the chase has got to be on. And they've got it on the ground. Everyone's in front of the kicker. And that pretty well seals the deal. Remember, that time clock that you're working on is not the official time clock, but it can't be too far astray, that's for sure. It's been a really intriguing battle here today. The Seagulls and the Barracudas. At the moment, it's the Barracudas who lead by 20 points to 16. Is there one last page in this interesting book? So Hakalaya slips, but still manages to kick it to touch. Get to his feet now.
Wait for the contact, wait for the contact. 12, here, back, 12.
Could be some injury time that we hadn't factored into from our coverage perspective here as well, as Pierce Briers takes the ball forward.
10, 11, 1 here.
Well, the Seagulls need to jar the ball loose and get themselves an unlikely runaway try.
Off the left.
This time it's a spinning Ropatu who's happy to take it to ground. They've only scored the try that might have sunk the Seagulls' hopes with it now. Jack Allen.
Don't work him, don't.
Very busy.
Let him up.
And the referee says, hey, I know what you're tempted to do, but don't fall for it, as Adam Davies gets hold of the opportunity to take it to close range.
No, you're held, you're held.
And he's held. Thought that he was going to get over there, and now suffers some cramp, which is not the first time that would have occurred.
Let's tackle 4.
Late in the game. No. Not played it as the hooter goes in the background, and it looks like the Barracudas have success here. In fact, that is the way that it is. The Barracudas are the Sharman Cup Plate Grand Final winners of 2017.
And the presentations will commence.
So the Waitemata Seagulls can only look on and imagine what might have been. 12-4 leaders at the half-time break. They had the game right through until the 79th minute when Allen was able to cross and get them in front. 20 points to 16 is the scoreline. And there they are, the victors today. The East Coast Bay's Barracudas. Sideline with your thoughts briefly, please, Corey.
Yeah, heartbreak in the end for the Seagulls, but the Barracudas, they deserved that one. It was a slow start for them, but gradually they found their way into the clash and managed to come over the top. And obviously for Waitemata, they'll probably look back on that sin binning and regret it. Probably wish they'd just conceded the try in the corner of the field instead. But hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. So real credit to both of these two teams who've done really well this season, and no doubt they'll be contending for a spot in the top division of the Sharman Cup next year.
Well, I feel really for the Seagull supporters. They've come along. The Premier First final they were involved in and lost it in a heartbreaking last-minute effort. And they're here to support their top side as well, and the same fate awaits. So that's rugby league, isn't it? And big ups to the Waitemata Seagulls supporters. They'll be back in 2018, no doubt. But these two proud clubs, while it might be seen as not the highest of the divisions, it's their grand final and a special day as the two teams come together and shows of sportsmanship that really are the hallmark of rugby league in New Zealand. Congratulations to the Barracudas victors here in the Sharman Cup Plate Grand Final. They win this one by 20-16. Well, we'll be staying with you as well, of course, because we have Corey Rosser on the sideline, and we'll be just waiting for the representatives of both these teams to come to you. Although, Corey, you look like you're well poised. Perhaps we can get some thoughts from you on camera rather than off camera. We can see your handsome face and dulcet tones all in one hit, and you can sing the praises of Te Aroha and also of KiwiLeagueCentral.com.
Especially, Dale, when we have a face for radio. Corey's quite a stunner, he thinks.
Well, he's a great character too, and it's been a lot of fun calling with him, and a great pleasure, to be honest. And this is just a reminder of the numbers that we are talking to. The number 6 today is Lance Frost from the Seagulls. Let's go down and get some conversation with Corey Rosser.
We're here with Lance Frost, the captain of the Waitemata Seagulls. And Lance, a heartbreaking loss. You must be very disappointed to go down like that.
Yeah, but that's the game of league. Yeah, they deserved it. Proud of the boys. They did a really good effort all the way to the 80 minutes. Yeah.
East Coast Bay's kind of gradually started to come back into the match. Was there kind of a turning point for you at any stage?
Yeah, just the crowd. Just their hype and our bench and just the brotherhood love. Just, seeing the boys struggle, had their backs and stuff.
Playing with 12 for the final 10 minutes obviously didn't help. That was a real struggle, but you guys defended pretty well. But in the end, I guess the pressure just told a little bit.
Yeah. It was pretty hard. But, have to grind it out with the boys. We all struggled. But, we did well in the end.
And of course, for you guys playing in the second tier of the competition this year, you were contenders in the top tier last year. So the goal will be to get back into that top division next season?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, that'll be our goal for next year. Go back to the drawing boards and see what we improve on.
Lance, thanks for joining us. Commiserations on the loss and all the best for next season.
Thank you.
To sport, you work hard, you hope for the victory, but gracious in victory, and gracious in defeat, and humble in victory. That's what we like to see. Let's go sideline as well. The skipper is Adam Davies. He's with Corey.
We're now joined by Adam, captain of the victorious East Coast Bay's Barracudas. Drama till the very end, mate. How's the heart rate?
Oh, it's a bit high, I tell you that, yeah, but all worth it, eh? All paid off now. Oh, we just believe in each other, eh? And we got through, eh? It was awesome.
It wasn't a great start for you guys, and you looked a little bit shell-shocked, to be fair, in the first half hour or so, but you gradually found your way into the game?
Yeah, just getting used to the time, I think it was, we were used to 2:30 and something different, but, we pulled through in the end and we all just grinded it out really, and dug deep for each other. It was all part of the parcel of what we got and got the reward in the end of the day.
early in the second half, you started to get a little bit of dominance. What was the key turning point for you guys?
Well, to be honest, we just had to hold the ball. Like today, we were just killing ourselves not holding the ball. We just gave them all the ball the first half, and we just kind of just got our heads around it and thought, oh, hey, if we hold the ball, we'll win this game, and that's what we did.
You've been contenders in the top division of the Sharman Cup the last few seasons, obviously coming down to the second division this year. This would have been the goal right from day one to get this and return next year?
Yeah, exactly. Like, we didn't go so strong at the start of the year. We started off with a bang, and then we just kind of crumbled at the end there. But, well, we made something of it this year, and that's what we got. We got the plate now, so that's what we are rewarded at the end. So, yeah, it's great.
Congratulations on the victory and enjoy the night.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you very much, mate. All the best. Thank you.
Nice attitude there from Adam Davies as well. And again, coverage is a window into the psyche of our young men, and congratulations to Adam. They will look to improve next season with a 2016 result. Let's go down because the presentations are on.
You guys definitely, deserved, man. You guys led the season the whole way. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Drenco, Fresh Choice, and all our supporters been supporting hard throughout the season, and partners, and it's hard, boys, but heads high, man. We had an awesome season, and awesome to lead you, and this one's for our bro Bayer.
Well, there we are.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
Matthew Luisi, who's just speaking passionately to his team, to the supporters as well. Many of them have left the stadium, sadly disappointed that both teams that they've come to support from their beloved Waitemata Seagulls could only come second in the two encounters here at the Trust Arena. But nevertheless, all the players will get their medallions that they can acknowledge having made the grand final this year. It was tough enough to get there. In the end, they just couldn't go on with it. They only had 12 men at the wrap-up of that last 10 minutes and succumbed eventually to a try for one of the best on track today, Jack Allen, who snuck across for the try, and a 2016 result for the Barracudas in the grand final. Dave Pakaito from Auckland Rugby League presenting each of the players with their mementos of their efforts here in the grand final for the Sharman Cup plate today. But of course, awaiting the opportunity to hear from the Barracudas, and the officials are coming forward as well. Thanks so much to them and all of the officials from the Auckland Rugby League administrative side, but also the connections to the team as well. An important part of any grand final coverage and conclusion. We certainly hope that you have enjoyed the coverage as we go to our fifth and final medal presentation to the winners. And let's go back down to the presentation area.
Firstly, Waitemata, it's been a tough year. Each game we play, it's always been tough, and it showed here tonight. First I'd like to thank our supporters all over there. Yeah! And to my team, we worked hard. We worked hard for this. We had one upset, and then we come back to the drawing board and we got the job done. Awesome like this. Hey, let's carry it on. Thank you.
Stephen Robinson, the skipper here, co-captains, it would seem, too, with Adam Davies. Nice to hear from Adam Davies as the East Coast based Barracudas come and get their medallion and get the chance to hold the trophy aloft. Stephen Robinson, congratulations to these young men. Number 11 today, Trevor Strickland. Pierce Bryars, my apologies there, getting some of them wrong. Here's the big prop forward. Adam Davies, Ian Mills next up to get his medallion. And great to see the Barracudas connections there as well. Josh Hale, now to some of the administrators. And once they're all clustered together, we'll get that shot of them holding the trophy aloft. Well, I hope you've enjoyed coverage today. I remind you that Sky Television will be taking the Auckland Rugby League finals next week. That's the Fox Memorial Championship, which will be battled out between the Point Chevalier Pirates and the Glenora Bears. The Pirates in for their 5th Fox final in a row. Unsuccessful in 2016, but wanted to go one better this season. Jock Pryor previously. That's Cameron Nicholas. Hakaraya, Dustin Hakaraya. And of course the back row, Jamal Uropata. More of the officials. Hats off to them for all of their efforts. A nice celebration of the code here that we're witnessing, both here and around the world. Thank you for your interest in our local rugby league scene here in Auckland. Of course, it's produced some fabulous players over the years. Even if our flagship New Zealand Warriors team might be struggling in 2017, there's a lot of good things going on in the other divisions, Fox, Sharman. And this is the last of the connections from the East Coast based Barracudas, who will cluster together and then come to receive the trophy. Stephen Robinson holds the trophy aloft as the East Coast Bays Barracudas celebrate their success in 2017. They're the Sharman Cup Plate Finals winners as they go into song. What a way to finish our coverage. 5 big games from Auckland Rugby League's finals day. From me, Dale husband, Corey Rosser on the sideline, Lewin and Rusty Matua, all our cameramen, and certainly our staff who have been mixing things with great skill to enable these images to go around the world. We say thank you and farewell from Trust Stadium in Auckland's West. Until next time, it's farewell and all the very best. And remember, Rugby League for life.
You don't know me. You've never seen me play. You don't know my name. You don't even know how to pronounce my name. I'm not a big star. You may think I'm a nobody, but nobody trains harder. Nobody wants it more. Nobody will surprise you. Nobody's tougher. Nobody. And come this October, who you don't know